Don't leave your 9 to 5 yet. I know there's a lot of people out there saying, I left my 9 to 5. I'm quitting my 9 to 5. But sometimes that's not the best wisdom. You see, everybody has an appointed time. And I'm not saying this to discourage anybody. I would recommend that before you quit your 9 to 5, you make sure that you are hearing from God 100%. Now, there are times when God will tell you to leave your job. Leave it immediately. I know there was a time in my life when God had told me to leave my part-time job. I was a student and I needed my money. I needed my money. But I was working 2 part-time jobs and God told me to quit one. There were some things going on that was not ethical. And I decided, no, I like this extra money. I'm able to go and do a few extra things. But God told me to quit and I didn't quit. So I got fired. The entrepreneurial life is probably the best life. But don't think you're not going to work. You're going to work harder as an entrepreneur than you will at a 9 to 5. I'm just saying. Ecclesiastes tells us to have 7, even 8 streams because we don't know which direction calamity is going to come. Your job is your source of income. Don't quit your job until you are able to fully sustain yourself financially. You quit your job prematurely thinking that you can do entrepreneurship and you may not like it. Entrepreneurship never turns off. You're always thinking about the next thing. What can I do? How can I do it? As prophetic people, lean on to your prophetic mantle and ask God if it's time for you to leave your job. If it's not, be still. Allow that job to be your extra source of income, your multiple stream. You can work YouTube and you can work your job. But never leave your job until you are fully vested and able to make that transition. Because sometimes YouTube goes up, sometimes it goes down. Sometimes they kick people off platforms. And what if you put all your eggs in this one basket and it goes away? Live your dreams. Live your life. But don't quit your 9 to 5 unless God has told you. In 2019, God instructed me to leave my full-time job. I left it. I left my 9 to 5 because I was instructed to leave. I worked in a toxic environment and I was highly burnt out. There's nothing worse than a toxic environment. There's nothing worse than a toxic boss. If you're in that environment, I encourage you to update your resume and start looking now. Only reason why I haven't gone back into a 9 to 5 is because the pandemic hit and God showed me to be still. And when he tells you to be still, he will provide all your needs according to his riches and glory. Start engaging in the entrepreneurial life now while you have something to lean on. Don't hate your job just because other people are hating it. Everything is about to shift in this nation. You don't want to launch into the deep without being instructed to do so. Go fast to what God has given you. And when it is time, go for it. Go for it with all your might. But right now, if you're working a 9 to 5, prepare now for entrepreneurship. Don't go to the left or to the right. Stay the course. Allow that job to be your source of income, your primary source of income. And then when your other activities start growing and it overtakes the pay that you're making at your full-time job, go for it. Be grateful for everything God gives you. Be grateful. Don't complain. If you complain, he'll take it from you. I've seen that happen to people as well. I've seen people complain and get that job taken from them, even though it was a good paying job. They had the freedom that they needed. They started butting heads with their boss. And guess what? Their boss terminated them. Be grateful. Do your work as unto the Lord. Keep your plans to yourself. Live the entrepreneurial life now and be blessed. Shalom.